I met my long-distance boyfriend of almost 4 years for the first time and want to break up. Hello. I 22F have met my boyfriend 25M when I was 18 in a video game platform. We really understood each other well and had a lot of common interests. When he sent me his pictures I was stunned as he looked really good, and on top of that our personalities and interests matched. We started dating after some time and there has not been one day where we haven't gone not talking to each other on Discord. He would send a lot of pictures of him in the beginning but never wanted to video chat. As he was uncomfortable about it. Maybe we video chatted like 10 times during this whole time. We planned on meeting up sooner but due to the pandemic and him losing many jobs we never made it. Fast forward to this year, I pretty much have my life figured out by now. I earn money even though I'm a student, and he does not. Disclaimer. It has been an issue in our relationship for quite some time as he wouldn't do anything for my previous birthday due to lack of money. But I was just so startled by that because money wasn't the issue. It was his lack of understanding. He could have done something personal for me instead of buying a present. Sometimes he would even ask me to send him money or buy him meals. And I did all of that with no questions asked and never mentioned it again as he is my partner. There has even been times I paid his rent. But I thought it was all okay because he's giving me attention, playing games together, talking for hours and watch a movie. More importantly, I'm a hopeless romantic and already planned my whole life out with him. But over time this dream became more and more unrealistic as he's always losing jobs or dropping out of them or never goes for better job opportunities. He just seems so lazy to me. And bad with his money also. When he actually manages to earn some money he will first buy CSGO keys or get takeouts when he could be actually buying ingredients to get meals for a whole week. There is much more to his lazy broke side but I will stop here. So, fast forward to this year, I couldn't stand not meeting him yet again for this year. So I booked his flight and I paid for it. I booked his hotel and paid for it. I booked tickets to a convention and paid for it. All he had to do was go along with it. But he complained about everything like the legroom not being spacious and for me not booking him the breakfast menu. Then after a lot of complaining and me keeping up with it because I want to see my handsome and perfect, my hopeful imagination at that time, boyfriend for the first time he finally arrived. And I was shocked. I could clearly see it's the same person in the few video chats we had and the same person in his selfies, but something was wrong. He had a bump on his neck and walked weirdly. His haircut was ridiculous, and he just looked like he was 20 years older than me. It was the biggest glowdown I've ever witnessed. More to his personality in person. He was very distant, awkward, didn't talk, was on his phone and didn't make any eye contact at all. He just avoided it. He also let me pay all of our first date. He didn't touch me, didn't kiss me and just walked next to me with a distance of good 2 meters. Before any of you think there must be something wrong with me, there really isn't. Smiling face with tear, I would rate myself a 7/10 and my friends even go for the 10 out of 10. I go out a lot more than I sit in my room and game all day. I go to the gym and look after what I eat. I treat my skin and hair regularly. And I care a lot for my looks. I shop a lot with my girls and consider myself having a good style. It was just a huge disappointment because I curled my hair, did fox eyes and even bought a non-stick lip tint so I can get kissed a lot. But after meeting him and him turning out to be the complete opposite of what I thought he was, I'm glad he was too weird to do that. I'd rather take my first kiss to someone who actually wants to provide too in a relationship, who doesn't live a few countries away and is an extrovert just like me. I want to experience real love, because this relationship just feels more like bro love. I know now I have been naive for loving someone so blindly without knowing the real them. But I still feel so guilty. Because after all his weird behavior he still texted me that he enjoyed it and can't wait for our next meet-up. He's even going out his way to pay for his next trip and even offered me to buy something I really want and actually planned on buying it myself. But I don't want to see him again. I just want to break up. I'm not attracted to him anymore. I was only attracted to the imagination I had of him when he still cared for himself, had an income and was talkative. I don't want him to spend any money. But after almost 4 years it's hard to break up. Especially when I know how crazy he is for me now. And he's also the one actually calling me up first. He even says he can't wait to meet my mom again next year. I just feel so bad and don't know how to end this. Should I put the entire blame on me or is he also to blame? But I just feel like because I put so much effort in myself I also deserve someone with at least tiny effort on them. I want to have what my girlfriends have. A supportive boyfriend who shower them with nothing but love and cool memories together. Any advice how I can approach the breakup? Just say the distance is too much and you don't want to do it anymore, and that even though you like him as a person you didn't feel the spark in person that you hoped you did. Don't put the blame on anyone, just say it is what it is. Thank you for everyone who commented here now. I didn't know Reddit had this effect. I reminded over everything with this post. Realized my misery and dumbness and just ended it. Me being able to be completely honest about everything like being anonym on here has played a huge part in it. Couldn't tell any of my friends the whole 100% truth like I could on here. It doesn't even hurt. I feel so free right now. My girlfriend messages a guy who begs to have sex with her. My girlfriend of 2 years has blocked this guy previously after he went into detail about what he wants to do to her. She has recently unblocked him and said if he says anything sexual he will get blocked again. Last night I found out he was messaging her again telling her that he would love her to suck him off. My girlfriend threatened to block him but he carried on. She was also very flirty at the start of their convo when she said, "Why thank you," in response to being called gorgeous. She claims this was sarcasm. I've said I think it is borderline cheating to be messaging him and she has said it's not like that and she only did it because she has trouble understanding her emotions and she didn't even say anything sexual back so she believes it's not even that bad. Personally I believe she has been disloyal to me. We have been discussing it all day and she's now decided she's done absolutely nothing wrong and she's now done with the conversation about it. Yeah, it sounds like she is lying to you. Emotional affair if ever I've seen one. Grow a set. This lady is not for you. Time to ask where her loyalties are and behave like it too. She doesn't understand her own emotions? That's BS, she likes the attention he gives her, period. In any case talk to her and ask her if she wants more attention from you but she needs to stop this crap with this guy. And if she doesn't stop, I would just leave. Say nothing, just leave. She knows what she is doing. Just move on. This relationship is not for you and you have your whole life ahead of you. Don't waste time when you could be with someone better. Reconsidering friendship over herpes. I used to get ulcers when I was younger and had suspected it was herpes but tests had always returned negative until earlier this year. When I asked the doctor why I'd had negative results, she said that herpes tests aren't always accurate all the time. Anyway, I, 29F, was sharing this information with my best friend, 29F. At which she acted outraged and made various demeaning statements which I felt were extremely toxic and judgmental such as, anyone with herpes must deep down inside know there's something wrong with them but conveniently chose to remain ignorant. All of you are irresponsible. Herpes is a dangerous STD. You need to deal with your situation. I reminded her that it was a very common virus usually transmitted during childhood through non-sexual contact. And in fact majority of the population have it but most are unaware because it is largely asymptomatic and it's not commonly tested for and she said, "You can say whatever you want to make yourself feel better." I also asked if she would be reacting this way or hounding and crying that it was an STD if any of her toddler nieces, nephews had contracted this, and she responded, "Leave my family out of this." She also told me she didn't want to share food or drinks with me anymore, even if I'm not having an outbreak, as she was afraid of contracting it. But then it's fine to do exactly this with other people who have never been tested and don't know their status. I then asked her since she was so disturbed about it, whether she'd ever been tested and she responded no. I told her that if she was so genuinely outraged, then it was her duty to consistently be getting herself checked and be disclosing her status too. She replied that since herpes tests weren't always accurate, she wasn't keen to get tested. I feel like she is being a giant hypocrite, virtue signaling, toxic, negative, and judgmental. I'm quite pissed off with her and am seriously re-evaluating our friendship over this. Yep, she's judgmental as fuck, and then when you called her out on it, rather than apologize she got defensive. Not great friend material. What a fucking idiot. You've got herpes, so do a lot of people, have you been checked? No, she sounds like a complete dunce, to be honest, incapable of logical thought. Ditch her. I think the name herpes is the trigger. Call it cold sores and it changes to a common ailment. I cured any outbreaks by taking zinc or using zinc lip balm, works every time. She probably got herpes. Who gives a fuck? 1 out of 4 people got it. Yeah, she sounds hella judgmental and ignorant. Also I may be reading too much into this but it sort of sounds like she just wanted an excuse to belittle you or be mad at you. I wouldn't keep a friend who tried to shame me for something outside my control. Should I tell his girlfriend he cheated? Like 2 months ago I, 22F, have a ons with a guy from college, 23M. I told him repeatedly that I don't mess with guys in relationships. He told me over and over again that he and his girlfriend were broken up. Far forward to this morning I saw a post saying, "Happy 9 months my love," and I'm just dumbfounded. He cheated on her with me. I was thinking on telling her, but I don't want anyone to find out that I slept with him. I live in a third world country, so women that sleep around are treated like second-class citizens, so I keep my sex life very private. I don't know how she might react. She might get crazy and could try to ruin my reputation. But I was the cheated girl once and I wish someone told me. I'm conflicted. My SIL told me that I should tell her, but I'm afraid. Gonna go against the odds, but if you're feeling like it can be dangerous for you to tell the truth, put yourself in priority. Tell her. Do it anonymously if you need to, but shit needs to be told. You're in a third world country, keep that to yourself. Do not take this first world advice from all these people on the internet. I wouldn't say anything, to be honest. I know it's the right thing to do, but if your safety and well-being is at risk, I wouldn't think it's worth it. Mind your own business, or you'll ruin only your own life. Yeah, fuck that guy, just move on. She probably knows LMAO.